You gotta give it up now. No more wasted seconds. I don't want to waste my patience on this time of being basic. I just want to live out the life that I want to see, be free, and make the choices that make me want to dream. Believe in a way of better life to me, to seem too clean. I don't want to be the perfect thing that gleams with thee. I want to find a remedy where I don't need the plastic seams that bind me to my weathered dreams. I want to be the broken teapot next to the wheel that's screaming, tea. I don't know if I can know. Alright. What up? It's Alex Earnest here, and today I learned the importance of humility in relationship to the muse. I want to kind of talk about the relationship to the muse today, the idea of the muse, and why, even if the muse isn't real, you should believe in it and treat it like it's real anyway. So this was sparked by a bunch of people have been saying really wonderful, nice things, which I want you to continue because I appreciate it and I love you and it means a lot to me. But it scares me a little bit because when people start saying these things like, oh, you're an angel, you're a saint, you're so good, you're so wonderful, you're one of the best people, blah, blah, blah. Like, not to discredit it, but it's just like, it's just not true all the time. On a certain spiritual level, like, we all have the potentialities of those, and at times I may externally manifest good parts of me, but there are also parts of me that are monsters that have been externally manifest before. Just the same as it is with everyone to various extents. You know, everyone has the potentiality for good, everyone has the potentiality of evil, and we fluctuate between the two based on the environment. You know, if you took me to a Juggalo concert, you know, for maybe I would be like standing off on the side, being kind of judgy, because I can be judgy and I can be standoffish and I can be introverted. Today, for example, I saw Jason Downey down at Saphir whenever I was getting food after work, and I wanted to thank him for everything that he's doing because I really appreciate it, and I shouted him out in the last thing. But I kind of didn't. I just sort of like made eye contact and looked away. And like, you know, that made both of our days worse because I could have done this nice thing and shown him appreciation, and then I wouldn't feel the shame around not having done it and knowing that I'm a worse person for that. You know, because it's just true. You know, it's like I could have, but I was just stuck in my little introvert thing and trapped up in my head, all anxious and just kind of beaten down. Today was a little bit of a tougher day. And you know, but all of this wants to come back to why I want to talk about your relationship to the muse. Beyond all of that kind of stuff, the important thing whenever people are talking about like, oh, you're so good, oh, this means so much to me, oh, I love it so much, is that on a level, it's not even really me that's doing it. All the stuff that you're hearing, to me, what I genuinely believe is that it comes from this sort of other place, this source of inspiration. I don't actually think that your thoughts are your thoughts. You know, Carl Jung said that people don't have ideas, ideas have people. You know, on a lot of levels, I think a lot of the stuff that I'm sharing with you are ideas that are having me, and I'm the vehicle giving it to you. So then whenever people try to praise me, on a level, it's like, sure, maybe I'm trying to do some stuff. I'm organizing my life in a way to try to effectively like maximize my relationship to the muse. I'm dedicating the time, I'm being disciplined, I'm, you know, pushing myself, I'm looking for feedback, I'm sharing things, I'm pushing to things I don't know how to do. And maybe all of those are things I'm doing, but even on a level with those, the idea for me to do that, again, if it's not my idea, if the ideas are having me, then I can't even necessarily claim any kind of pride or ownership in that, because it maybe wasn't even my idea to try that in the first place or to be open to that experience. You know, I think to live effectively, you have to take responsibility to just act as if you're responsible for everything and then try to maximize the effect that you're having. I think that's a valid strategy for how to live life, but I think compassion requires you to have a little bit of humility in respect to that other place. And in my case, the reason I'm bringing this up today is that in response to everyone saying these wonderfully nice things to me, I want to say thank you, I appreciate you, and I love you. You know, but a lot of this is coming from that place, and I'm just I'm just the vehicle for that, like the humble servant for that. And maybe that sounds a little weirdly religious to you all. You know, I'm a writer, like I've written books, you know, I'm talking about that kind of space whenever it's like you're writing and the characters start speaking for themselves, and it's kind of, if you've done work creatively, you probably have seen something where there's a sort of thing beyond what you're not like planning it, calculating it, it's just sort of a happening, and you just are letting it happen. And so I just always get a little nervous in the face of people telling me that I'm really great, because I'm like, sure, sometimes I can do nice, good things, but that doesn't mean that I'm all nice and good. It doesn't mean that I'm perfect. It doesn't mean that sometimes I can be benignly unkind and indifferent and judgmental and involved in myself and ignore people around and not offer them the kind of kindness that I always am preaching, the compassion that I'm always preaching. You know, I'm preaching in a lot of ways because I struggle to do it all the time. That's why I made this, because I struggle to do it. But you know, my hope is that through doing this daily, through trying to look more closely and offering myself to the Muse in service to you all, that hopefully I will continue to grow. I will continue to see expansion. I will be able to offer you all progressively more and deeper and more entertaining and more valuable and more engaging insights, and offer you more love as I come to love myself and love the world more, as I let go into more compassion and kindness. And I hope the same for you all too. So I love you. Thank you. Remember, in relationship to the Muse, just a few more notes real quick, because I do this. It's important that if you think about it as this kind of other thing that is giving you ideas, if you start thinking about the ways in which, if you were constantly critical, if someone was giving you something and you were constantly critical of what they were giving you, maybe they would stop giving it to you. And you know, maybe that's important to keep in mind with respect to the Muse. You're constantly like, this idea isn't good enough, no one will ever care about this idea isn't worth doing, I can't do it, it's too hard, all this kind of stuff. Why would it continue to give to you? You know? If you know, so I think it's important that you treat it with gratitude. And I think the responses to all of these elements where it's like, okay, if they're all coming from that other place, and maybe your responsibility is a bit of an illusion, then you know, what are you supposed to do? Like, how are you supposed to live in response to that if it's all out of your control? And the dog is so sad. Hold on, I gotta let the dog in. You can't cry. But if you don't have control, then it seems to me the only real route is gratitude for what you are receiving, trying to execute it to the best of your abilities, to honor the ideas that you are having, that are being given to you, to honor those to the best of your abilities, to share them, to be honest about it, and to live with gratitude and compassion. Thank you all again. I love you. Have a great day. Keep learning. Bye.